Well, I know what y'all thinking. I got the cap back on, the sunglasses. You trying to act cool for another woman? No, I just woke up from a nap. My hair's a mess, and I'm sleepy. However, I am excited about having our next guest on. She's not afraid to jump into hard topics like cheating, PTSD, and even suicide. She has a how to do book out right now that you can get on Amazon.com. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, the one and the only Jacquelyn Phillips. Jacquelyn, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty well. It's quite nice in Phoenix, Arizona right now.
Yeah, in January, but try to live there in July.
You just wear less clothing.
Yeah, I saw some of your Instagram photos of you in the bikini cutting grass, and I'm begging my wife to do that. See, here's the thing. My wife's you kind of remind me of my wife. My wife, she's a gym rat. She loves to work out. Ain't nothing for her to run 10 miles. Hiking, all that good stuff, all the stuff you love to do. And she's over 40, but she has a body of a goddess. And I'm like, you can show that body off anytime you want to. Don't hide it. When we were dating, it was nothing for my wife to go out on the beach in the bikini because she knew she had that type of body. And still at her age now, she has that type of body and she won't show it off. And being I've never been the jealous type. I'm more of like, I want everybody to see what I got. And she's like, no, I'm gonna put a shirt on. She's like, no, take the shirt
She's
off.
somebody's mama now, though. It's a mentality. You look down upon if you're a hot mom. People talk about you if you're the hot mom.
She was a hot mom when I met her. She had 2 kids when I met her. It wasn't like I came in the picture and she just like oh, bam, you got kids. No, she had 2 before.
You think it has to do with her age?
But no, I mean, I don't. Yeah, it has a lot to do with a lot of things. Probably, I don't know. She's not a young kitten no more. It could be a lot of things. It just, I don't know. I'm proud of her, and
just keep telling her that. Keep telling her that, though. It makes a difference.
So you're from Phoenix, Arizona. How long you been living there?
I am actually a native. I've been here my whole life.
Are you one of those people that just get up and leave during July and come back, or do you just stay and stick around?
Just stick it out.
Wow, you are special. So,
or a statist, whatever fits your bill.
All right, so you have a new book called Comfortably Uncomfortable. Tell us about it.
So basically, it is a culmination of 4 years of hard work, and it is my magnum opus. It is the story of how I went from being a miserable, self-sabotaging piece of shit to a happy, enlivened, loving, caring, here to make the world a better place and give you a high five on the way. And it tells you, my instances and my experiences and the different therapies and modalities that I used, different resources that I had, different medications that I tried, where I stumbled, how I got back up, and that you can do it too, that it's not beyond the reach of anyone.
Now, you talk about medication. I'm somebody who I say the last year I've been diagnosed with anxiety attacks. Mm-hmm. Was you someone that suffered from anxiety attacks?
So I actually have PTSD, anxiety, and severe depression. For the last 16 years, I was actually on an antidepressant, anti-anxiety medication. Just in the last 3 months, I have efficiently weaned myself off, and I'm 3 months clean of antidepressants. And holy crap, that's hard to do. My husband was getting a new job, and I didn't know that we were going to have insurance that would cover it. So I started the process of weaning myself down and eventually coming off of it. And it's like a bad breakup. So make sure it's something that you really want before you take that next step.
Yeah.
But yeah, medication was basically, it got me through. But at the same time, PTSD is a unique situation just because of the trauma to the brain. And I actually use something called ketamine, which, you know, you hear on the street as Special K, and, you know, I wasn't going in back alleys and getting hits. I actually had a nurse anesthetist and a doctor overseeing my care, and I was actually getting ketamine infusions, and they actually help with the reproduction of those receptors for your epinephrine and your norepinephrine and your serotonin so that you can function better.
What happened to me was, you know, the first time it ever happened was I was driving to Marietta, Georgia for a case, and I felt this feeling of highness. I mean, I felt high. And I remember calling, like, yeah, but I mean, for me, it was like I smoked marijuana. That's what I felt like. And that's a very good word. It's very good word to use for my term. Because when I go and tell the doctors I feel high. So I felt this feeling of highness. And I remember going to the gas station and I called my wife and I was like, Kim, I think I'm high. I think I'm high. She was like, there's no way you're high. You don't do drugs. I said, did you slip me something? Then finally it was just started getting kind of just I go inside the gas station and get some water, and the lady looked at me and said, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. And she called the ambulance. Well, anyway, the fire truck comes and my blood pressure was 240 over 210.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like, you going to the hospital now. So I get in the ambulance, I go to the hospital, and, you know, they bring my blood pressure down and gave me some, you know, anxiety medication. And I was fine, got up, I was still, it was almost like a bad hangover afterwards, because it was like, this never happened before, and you're still kind of nervous. Why? But the next day I was fine. 4 days go by, it happens again. Blood pressure just shoots straight up. Well, anyway, after trying to go to specialists and everything, they said, look, you're suffering from panic attacks. Do you have chest pains? I said, yes. Can you breathe? Yeah. No. And what scared me the most was the highness feeling, the feeling of my blood pressure shooting straight up and it's tingling in my head. And they were like, no, you're suffering from anxiety attacks. But for me, I didn't personally believe them. So I went to specialists. And to this day, I'm trying to figure out, there's no reason for my blood pressure to shoot up that high.
Yeah.
So they put me on Xanax, which worked. Everything was good. Everything's good when, I don't get no feelings of highness, or I don't get no tingling in my head or nothing like that. So I took that. Then after my mom passed away, they put me on clozapam, and I've been on that ever since. They put me on for like 2 a day. I take 1 a day, and I take one during an emergency, like if I get nervous, I'll take one. And that's the thing, because to me, to this day, I was like, I can't suffer from panic attacks, but when I pop that pill in, I'm fine. So, I guess they know what they're doing, but still, my thing about it is like, let's fix the problem instead of just treating it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're putting a Band-Aid on a bullet hole. There's still stuff seeping out that needs to be addressed so that you don't rely on it as much.
Right. And because of, some people who abuse this stuff, they only give you so many. Yeah. Like for me, they give me 30. And when I have an emergency, I have to take one. And so you'll go 2 or 3 days without one, and those 2 or 3 days, and then those symptoms come back, and you're like, oh, what the hell did I get myself into? and it's nothing you can do about it. You just have to ride it out, and your doctor don't care. Nobody gives a shit. You just gotta like,
No,
I got my blood pressure machines just sitting right there.
I promise you, there's things that you can do that'll help you ride those times out.
So what were your battles with PTSD like?
So a lot of mine were based on childhood trauma. So I'm not a veteran. I didn't serve. When you say PTSD and childhood, people think that you're making it up. A lot of people told me I was. And it took a lot of doctors to finally come to the realization that I wasn't actually making it up. These things weren't in my head. I'm not just a woman that's so frail, or, it's fibromyalgia. You'll be okay. I had that anxiety where, I had to know what was happening everywhere around me because I was waiting for the next blow to come in. Like a police officer will sit in the back of a restaurant so that their back is up against the wall and they can see everything. That's the mentality that you develop, is that you're always waiting for the next threat. And it's exhausting. And people don't really believe it, especially if you're not, you didn't serve. And I think that mental illness should be treated the same regardless of how you acquired it, because it's not like you actively go out and see it. With PTSD, it's a constant fight or flight kind of mode. You're constantly on edge, ready to go. The panic attack never really does go away. Your body just learns to adapt so that you can survive it over a longer period of time. It's exhausting.
Right.
It's a nonstop panic attack.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
Oh, a nonstop. So did you ever have blood pressure problems or anything?
When I would have separate anxiety attacks, because the PTSD is different than just anxiety. So when something would absolutely trigger me,
right.
I didn't have as much the blood pressure issue as I would have a racing heart rate. I would be sweaty, I'd be nauseated, and I would just be useless. It felt like everything was kind of closing in, and that dissociative feeling where the world is still continuing while you're there, but you just can't participate in it.
They diagnosed me with PTSD, and I was like, no. They'll talk to you, because once you get this type of medication, the one thing I had to learn from off subject is you have to quit drinking. That was for somebody who told myself like I would never quit drinking, I had to quit drinking, because depending on who you talk to when it comes to Klonopins, yeah, sure, you can have one or two, and then the doctors will say, no, don't have any. And to me, the risk was never worth the drink, even though I really wanted to drink. So it was either, live comfortably and don't have that situation happen to you again, or drink all the beer you want, and your blood pressure will shoot up and you'll have a stroke and die. So which one you want? So
Yeah.
I kind of made my decision. Was you in any type of law enforcement, or any type of, you say childhood trauma? What type of trauma did you go through?
Well, so a polite way to say it would be that we had a lot of housing and food scarcity. We were very financially disadvantaged, and my
You
mom.
were poor.
Yeah, we were poor, and my mom was an overgrown 16-year-old who didn't know how to handle the fact that she had a small child and a drug habit at the same time. And so I took the brunt of that. She had a drug habit and a toddler, and she was, 20 and didn't know how to manage those things. And so life was really, she took it out on me.
Oh, is she still with us today?
Yep.
Okay. What's she doing today?
I don't know. I cut ties with her a couple years ago. It was honestly extraordinarily therapeutic, because it did nothing to help support me getting through, the PTSD and making the progress that I was.
Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's best to cut ties with people that's going to just bring you down. I think that's a very brave decision.
It was hard, you
Go
know.
ahead.
You grow up with this mentality that your parents are superheroes, and that, you know, you come to find out that they're not, and then the mentality to rescue them comes in, but you can't rescue someone who doesn't want to be saved, and then you're left feeling broken and empty. And it's far more therapeutic to let it go.
Right. No, I'll tell you right now, that's, you know, I was talking to someone, I can't remember who, but I know the conversation was important. We was talking about sometimes you have to cut off the people that bring you down. And it seems so easy to say, but when it's family and friends, like your whole surroundings is bringing you down.
Yeah.
Like how do you cut off your friends and family? And when I say friends and family, for me, I don't have, I can't remember, I cannot honestly say that I have a positive influence in my life right now. You say, well, Joey, you got a wife and kids, but they're not there to be my positive influence. I'm there to be their positive influence. So when, you know, as a father, you know, stuff goes down, who they gonna come to? They're gonna come to daddy. And daddy better has a way to fix it. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but when daddy has a problem, there's like, who am I gonna turn to? You know, my mother's passed. Now, my mother was the type of person that will sit there and tell me that I can do anything in the world, knowing that I was a dumb. Like, sure, you can write a book, and the rest of the world is like, no, Joe, put the crayons down. No, don't do it. But once she passed away, it was like there's no
cheerleading.
There's no that yeah, it's not I don't got no cheerleading. You know, I don't have that like, let's do it. You know, it's more like negativity. And for me personally, I can't shut everybody out of my life. It's no I wouldn't have nobody. You know, you understand what I'm saying?
Somewhat. I guess the point behind it being that, you know, you have to be able to find that in yourself and believe it in yourself when you don't have those positive influences. You know, removing emotion from it takes a lot of the pain away. You know, you kind of have to treat it like a cancer.
Mm-hmm.
You don't coddle a cancer, shit out. And if that's what it is what it is. And you have to do it.
Where did your husband come in? I mean, how does he come into the picture to, I mean, was he there to support you? Was he there? It's like, no, don't do it. You know, keep your mama. She's a MILF. What was his take on
it? Yeah. I was adopted. I don't know, man. I don't look like my family. No, you know, he basically said, you have to do what's best for you and I'll support you. You know, he was able to see it better than I was. And, you know, when I was going through the motions of, you know, why do I keep going back to this? Why do I keep allowing this to happen? He said, you know, you already know the answer. You just have to find the strength to do it. And, you know, when I needed him, he was there. But for the most part, he knows that it was my journey. It wasn't his to take over.
Mm-hmm.
He's good like that. He knows when I need him to jump in, and he knows when I need him just to stand on guard and be ready to catch me when I fall. He's a really awesome guy.
And I take it every time you about to fall, he's gonna catch you.
Most of the time. Sometimes I need to fall so that I learn. You know, it's just like when you got your baby learning to walk. You know, you develop, you know, skill by practicing falling.
So we was talking off camera, and it was, you know, PTSD, but we get two other things that is very personal. But you said it's in the book, and we're gonna talk about it.
Already out there. Let's do it.
You know, so let's start with the infidelity. All right.
Yep.
I guess the question I have is, you have such a great man. You married him, so y'all were in love. What made you step out of the marriage
I couldn't see that he loved me because I didn't love myself. I was looking for acceptance and approval and love from anywhere that I could get it. And what I thought was love from him was not what I needed. And so I would go to anybody that would give me attention because I wasn't getting the attention that I wanted from him, because I wanted to be the new shiny, pretty toy. And after 10 plus years, I didn't see myself as shiny, even though he still did. I didn't think he loved me, and I didn't love me. And it's hard to feel empty inside and not want to fill that void.
So you say you didn't feel that you felt loved by him. I mean, so what? He didn't tell you? I mean, he didn't show you? I mean, what could he have done differently to make?
I didn't listen to it.
You just didn't see it.
No, my blinders were up because there was so much hate in myself for myself that I couldn't let anybody in that had put the time in. I just wanted the next shiny thing. I wanted the next fun thing. I wanted to be the center of the universe. And I was putting that responsibility on somebody else instead of on myself.
Is it fair to say that you probably had some traits of like your mom?
I definitely had some emotional immaturity. I think a lot of my self-hate was instilled by her. I don't know that it was, something that was passed down to me, but the hatred that I had for myself, I definitely got that from her. And, there's a lot of society that tells you you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not smart enough, you're not fast enough, you're not pretty enough. And then after a while, when you believe those things and you're already, well into depression, any glimmer of you're special feels fucking amazing. And I was getting it, but I didn't see it for what it was. I saw it as onerous and a responsibility because we had made a vow, not because it was how he actually felt.
Oh, was this with multiple people, or did you find another relationship with another person?
It was emotional affairs.
Okay. Emotional affairs.
Yes, which are even as dangerous as physical, just because, you catch feelings.
As a man, yeah, I get it. My wife went out there and, was telling people I love them and stuff like that. But, physical. So what, these affairs, were they physical?
One of them was, yes.
Okay. So you had a relationship with another man. Okay.
Yep.
Now, that's what I was asking. So, yeah, what I'm going to say is this, I'm not here to judge anybody, and I don't judge you. Everybody has their own path. And be honest with you, I think you're an amazing human being. Not just amazing woman, but an amazing human being. But I have to give kudos to your husband because honestly, I don't know how he did it. Like, I had stuff in my past that, I don't know how I did it. I to this day, I don't know how I did it. I don't know what his secret was because as a man, I don't think women understand when it comes to stuff like that what it does to a man. Like, I know it hurts a woman, but see, we as men, I guess it's that old sense of caveman mentality that, that's mine. That's my wife. That's my woman. It's like a spit in the face. And, for me, it's a fighting thing, that's just me. I'm not saying that doesn't happen to every man, but for me, somebody's going to have to die.
He's got a lot of love and forgiveness in his heart. And, he clearly saw that through my pain, there was someone still worthwhile in there. And he was really supportive in helping me get over the things that were allowing that behavior to manifest. He's a stand-up dude.
It is somebody. No, and he's not the only person that sees that. You can tell just by talking to you that you're definitely somebody that is worth being around, worth you talk about your self-worth and how, I mean, you're an amazing human being. Is the reason I picked you for this interview.
Thanks.
I mean, you went through a lot, and the business that you open up, the websites, the Instagram, the book. I mean, you're an amazing human being, and you should not only be proud of yourself, you need to be proud of everything that you accomplished.
I just don't want anybody else to go through what I went through. You know, if I can save somebody from going through half of what I've been through, or, you know, teach them another way to live so that they don't have to hurt all the time, man, that's all I want.
You chose a path, but look, you made it through it. Look where you are now. I mean, you are a very successful woman. I mean, I can only dream to be as successful as you. That's a dream of mine, to have the self-worth that you, I mean, right now, you know how much you're worth right now. And you know what you have done. You know you wrote that book. You know you started a business. You know you married an amazing man. You're happy now. And you're not on any type of medication. I mean, that's stuff that, I mean, right now, I look at you like a hero.
I think self-worth and success are related to a level of achievement. I think my greatest success is just liking myself, because that was the hardest mountain I ever climbed. And that's,
well, I mean,
that's what a lot of people don't do.
Do you like yourself today?
I love myself today.
And you love yourself today. What more success can you ask for?
Nothing.
Yeah. So that's why I
want to
said
be happy, and I want to love myself. Those are the goals that so many don't spend their time on. It's not about the businesses. It's not even about the book. At the end of the day, when my head hits the pillow, I like the person that I am and the work that I did that day. That's all I need.
And I like the photo of you cutting grass in your bikini. I see where you're coming from. I understand.
Oh.
So you know, it's so you had the affair.
Yep.
You told your husband. Okay, so you said, I want to ask you what his reaction was, but what was his first instinct?
He knew. He knew before I told him. He's a smart guy, and I wasn't very smart, and you know, it was just another manifestation of my pain. You know, I was taking that pain and putting it on somebody else in hopes of feeling a little bit better. And I know that I betrayed his trust, and I know that I hurt him, and I know that it did hurt him. It never doesn't hurt, but you know, the commitment to bettering myself and putting my issues to bed so that I didn't do that again. I think that was the redeeming quality that saved the marriage. You know, we both went into it really fast. I mean, we were long distance, we got a house, we got married, we popped out a kid. We did not invest the time in getting to know each other or building a rapport. We played house while we were in school full time, and we thought we had it all. And I brought a lot of baggage into the relationship that he didn't sign up for and didn't know was coming. And that's how it.
Yeah. As a man, I understand that, because you know, that's the thing with me. I met my wife. I knew my wife 2 years prior. You know, we were friends at the gym, but she got me. She catered to that ego. Damn. I mean, she catered. I mean, every day she was writing text messages, how much she loved me, how much I'm the king of her castle and all. You know, she catered to that ego to the point where I had to put the ring on her finger. Now, everybody kept telling me that, you know, y'all need to go ahead and like live, you know, move in together, you know, get to, you know, each other. And she had 2 kids. That was not going to happen, because it was, you know, she had a 12-year-old son and she had a 5-year-old daughter that, you know, we need to set a good example. I bought us a house, and we waited to move in when we got married. first week, I'll never forget. I was gonna watch, I think, a basketball game or something, and I was downstairs in the den in the old house, and my wife looked. Now you gotta understand, she was married before. She said, "Joey, can you take the trash out?" And I said, "Sure, no problem." And I go back and doing what I was going to do. And I think I was getting my sandwich ready, and I had a little fridge where I kept my Cokes and my beers. And game was about to come on, and then all of a sudden I hear, "I thought I told you to take the trash out."
You know, Ralphie May does a bit about
what
this.
The fuck? I look up, and I'm looking at this woman like, "Have you lost your damn mind?" And I went to, like, we're new to this. It's like, "Hey, baby, whoa, I'm not. Look, you just no need to scream at me." I tried. At the time, I thought I was cool. It's no need to scream at me. I didn't know that you wanted it now, but this screaming thing ain't gonna work no more, baby. No more. Like this. And she apologized, and that was the last time she's ever apologized for any freaking thing in the world. And ever since then, that woman has screamed and yelled ever since. And my point is taken is, I think it's time. I think when you start a relationship and you start that road to marriage, you really, really need to know what you're about to get yourself into. And that not only you and your husband was guilty of that, I was guilty of it too, because I was thinking is, wow, this woman's sexy. And I didn't know what was up in her head. And if I knew what was up in her head, I would have buckled up. But that's just me. So once again, your husband, I believe your husband's a good man. I think you're a good woman, no matter what. You can't take one mistake and let it dictate your life. But you did talk about suicide. Where did suicide come into play?
So it was 4 years ago next week. We were falling apart. Everything was falling apart. The wheels were off the cart. It's never been an easy relationship. It's never been easy. It's always been work. And we were both, just not working anymore together as a team. And we didn't have that love and respect for each other that we needed.
Was this before or after the?
This was after.
Okay, sorry. Go.
That's
I'm
okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's
this was after. Okay.
No, so this is after. And we were getting ready to call it quits. He wanted to be done. Intrinsically, I hate the idea of marriage ending just because I was a child of divorce and I hated it, and I didn't want to do that to my son, and I didn't see an end in sight to keeping us together. I didn't see that we were reconcilable. And if I didn't have that family unit and that picture perfect family for my kid, and I couldn't see him full time, I didn't see a point in being here anymore. And so we live in a 2-story house, and there is a set of railing, and I'm a crafty person and have lots of tools, and was preparing to hang myself. And the thing that stopped me from doing it was I couldn't control the narrative for my child. And I was afraid that he would find me that way. Well, sorry, that one's still kind of raw.
I can, yeah, I know. I saw it in your facial expressions. I was like, I probably shouldn't have asked that.
No, I want people to know that it's a thing. It's not taboo. Like, people experience it. Not everybody survives it. And if you can, I feel like you're obligated to go, hey, this is what kept me from doing it, because it might help you. It's just really raw because I'm coming up on my 4-year anniversary from it.
Right. What was your husband's take on this suicide attempt?
He foresaw it. He saw that, there was a chance that it was going to happen, and he made sure to be home more. And, I don't think he believed that I would go through it, and I'm really grateful for his lack of faith in that regard. You know, even when it was at its ugliest, he never left my side, but he gave himself space to tend to his wounds as well.
Listen to your story and everything. It's not a doubt in my mind that he made the right decision to stick around. And I mean, I honestly, just talking to you for an hour, I promise you this, just talking to you and seeing what type of person you are, I would have stuck around too. And that's the honest God's truth. I would have stuck around too. Especially after the bikini picture, the lawnmower. Huh?
He said, I haven't even made you dinner yet. It's a redeeming quality.
No, it was the bikini picture that kept me around. Like,
well,
let's say we was in a relationship. Yeah, let's say we was in a relationship together, and that situation happened to me. I'll just look at that picture and like, oh, well, she made a mistake. Hope she learns from it.
Yes.
What's for dinner?
And it's so stupid because I absolutely love when it lines just right up perfect on the grass. I get so damn proud of it.
I wasn't looking at the lines on the grass, baby.
I know.
My wife makes a little more money than I do. And, you know, when we started the marriage, I was making a lot of money and she was making like $20,000 a year. So you can guess who made all the decisions.
She did.
When them roles reverse, and she didn't hesitate either. Like, I think we're gonna have. I think we're gonna be vegans. Well, baby, I don't think we're gonna be vegans. I'm like, damn, where'd you get the deep voice?
Are you still vegan?
No, hell no. I'm not a vegan. I mean, I'm a vegan around her. Around her, I'm a vegetarian. No, I'm going to eat meat. You know, if I want to leave this earth with a heart attack, it's because of the fried chicken that I ate. It's not going to be because of the broccoli and the chia seeds. The book. Where can people find it? I said Amazon.com. I hope that was right.
Yes, you are correct. You can purchase it in print on Amazon. You can download it on your Kindle. If you don't mind the sound of my voice, I'll actually read it to you, and it's available on Audible. I do narrate it myself. All the inflection and emotion is there because it's me. I do have my Instagram, which, yeah, I do post some thirst traps because I work hard for it. But there's also lots of helpful information there. There's a companion website for the book that talks about different therapies and different practitioners that you can reach out to. Basically, at the end of the day, I figured out what works for me so that I can live a happy life. And I want to impart all the knowledge that I've learned on others so that they can be happy too.
When I say this, I really do mean it. I think you're an amazing human being. And I think you and your husband and even your son are three people that I look forward to hearing from again. But with all that said, I'm sorry. I have to say this. When I went to your Instagram account, I didn't see none. All I saw was the picture of you cutting grass. And for any guy out there that wants to see something that is truly beautiful and truly sexy, go to her Instagram account, look at that photo, and wonder, what do I need to do to get something like that? Do you need to become a computer engineer or a software engineer? Do you need to get a bigger wallet? Well, get to it. That's your motivation right there.
I love it. I love it, Joe. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on the CTS.
Thanks for the opportunity.
I humbly mean this from the bottom of my heart. You're part of the CTS family now. Anytime you want to come back, I hope it was a pleasure to experience. I know at the beginning it was kind of technical difficulties and we didn't understand each other. We had to fill each other out a little bit, but after all said and done, I think we finally got each other. I think we understood each other, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. And tell your husband he's an amazing man because he definitely has an amazing woman. With that said,
I will do
Jacquelyn, you stay on the line. Everybody else, see you next Sunday.